Hey, welcome to the channel. I was running a diagnostic on my car and I had a code that popped up, and it's one of those codes that won't throw a check engine light on the dashboard, but it's there. It was the DTC was, I believe, 001175. It was on the AC system. It was a changeover valve fault, electrical fault was what the code said. I did some digging, consulted with a few folks in the parts world of Porsche, and they said that yes, the changeover valves tend to go bad. There's two pieces to it. There's the electrical and the mechanical. They work together. The electrical works on vacuum to adjust the mechanical so that the different circuits, different cooling circuits in the car can get the warm water running through them. So in this video, I'll go through the steps of changing that changeover valve and some of my tips and tricks. So if you're not familiar with the Porsche cooling system, there are multiple circuits in the system that Porsche uses to get the engine up to temperature fast and maybe cool the intercooler circuit, I believe, and there's an air conditioning circuit, which is what the error code pointed to. They are controlled by a unit like this, and then this is hooked up to a valve, so it'll close or open a circuit. So based on the code, it's an open circuit, which points to something electronic, not mechanical. And this is the unit that controls that circuit. This particular unit is a Pierberg. They're the OEM manufacturer of Porsche water circuits, or the valve, not the valve itself, but the circuit controller. So I went ahead and got this one. Saved me some money over the OEM or the Porsche one, even though it's made by the same company. So it's a Pierberg circuit. There are a couple different options that are out there, but Pierberg is the one that manufactures the OEM unit. So I'll show you its location on the car. Once you're underneath the car, to get access to this, you need to take off the front two panels. So you have the one up here in the front and the one here in the center. The rear of the car is towards my feet down here. There's also a bracket. You may not need to remove it, but it sure makes life easier. This sits here. It's connected and held in by this piece. Once you take these 4 bolts out, you just sort of need to reach up and hold this plastic piece so that you can slide this out. Once you get that out, then you can see up here, here's the valve itself, and then the circuit controller. Let me grab my light here so that we can see this a little better. Sits right here. So we need to unplug from this and then disconnect the 2 vacuum lines and then put the new one in and hook it back up. I adjusted the camera so you can see here what we're dealing with. Here's the circuit controller, and this is the valve. So you can see the vacuum lines here. There's one on the back side of the valve as well. You need to remove the electrical connection here, and then the 2 vacuum lines, and then we can just pull that old one out and put the new one in. So I ran into 2 issues. I did get the old one out. It's very easy to mechanically disconnect this. I'll show you that here in a second. And it's also easy to disengage the electrical connector, especially once you mechanically unhook it from the bracket. The issue I ran into was, as you can see here, the vacuum line, when I went to take it off, the tube on the actuator broke. And then when I went to pull the tube off the other end, the hose broke. So two separate issues, two separate ways I'm going to address it. The hose barb was stuck inside the hose. So I took a little WD-40 and shot it up the hole a little bit to hopefully get it up and above that. And then I just took a pair of pliers. This is that barb. And then I started squeezing from the top down and eventually just work this out. So I don't need to replace that section of hose. I can reuse it. This one, with it breaking right there, I could probably get away with reusing this, but I don't want to do that. So I'm going to replace this hose. And it's just standard vacuum hose. It's not formed in any way. It's just straight vacuum hose. So I'll get some new vacuum hose and install the new actuator here in just a second. So here the new one is installed, but to get the old one out, you can see this little hole right here where the detent is. If you press in on that with a screwdriver and then kind of twist it back, that will unlock this controller from the bracket so that you can just kind of work it back off. That's the easiest way of getting this off. But the new one's installed. And then as far as getting the electrical clip off, get a little more light on it here. It's this right here where you need to pull this clip, this silver clip down, and then this just pulls right off. So it's very easy to remove. And then to install it, it's just the reverse steps. As you can see, I've cleared the codes and now we're ready to run the test. Basically, I'll start the car, let it warm up, and turn the heater on, and that should show that we've got heat coming out of the vents, like real heat instead of just kind of lukewarm. So I'll do that. So I got it up to temperature and the heat is hot coming out of the vents, which you would expect. And I ran the diagnostic again and there are no trouble codes for the car. So I'm pretty happy that we got the problem solved. Some tips and tricks on this one. It's a pretty simple procedure. The only tip I would say is make sure you have some extra vacuum hose on hand. This car is, 7 years old at the time I'm filming this. The car has over 90,000 miles on it. And it was pretty difficult to get the vacuum hoses off. I had to cut one off from both the car side and the valve side just to get it off. So if you have some extra vacuum hose that will fit, I would say get that on hand while you're doing this. That way, in case you have trouble getting those off, you can just quickly replace it. They aren't formed vacuum hose. It's just a couple sections between the mechanical and the valve itself. So let me know if you have questions. Thanks for watching.